Welcome to the Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver. What up? Welcome to the Waiver Wire, where fantasy players become fantasy legends. He is risen! Oh, happy day! I'm not a religious person, but this must be what it feels like whenever Jesus showed back up with holes in his hands. Oh, man. Holy shit.
What happened? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is back with
Aaron Rodgers signed his contract.
No. Fucking Tom Brady is 40 days. You know what my theory is? My theory is that he was at home and he's like, I think I could go back. You think I think I can still play. Babe, do you think I made a mistake? You think I should go back? He's just fucking nagging her. And eventually Giselle's like, fucking go. Get the fuck out of here. Go fucking play. I don't care. I don't give a fuck anymore. You know what? I wanted you to be here, but now I want you to fucking go play because you're annoying the fucking bejesus out of me. But
so you think it was Giselle?
I think it was Giselle.
She's like, nah.
She was like, you know what?
This.
Get the fuck out of here. You're bothering me, okay? No, I don't want to watch film with you from fucking 10 years ago. That's not what I want to fucking watch something else on Netflix. Why do we have to watch this? Why are you making the kids run routes in the fucking living room? But yeah, I just think, and I also think Brady, it was, and listen, this is probably it. I mean, I'm from here on out, I have no idea. He could retire. I'm also really scared that it might take a serious injury to be the thing to say, like, okay, now I really can't do it anymore. I don't want that to happen. I'm knocking on all the wood that that's not what happens, but I'm just scared that, like, he's a crazy person that
you would
can't
imagine
walk away.
that if he sees a decline in his skills, that he would probably
which there wasn't last year. So that must have been a big thing that he thought about again and again. He's like, man,
I literally played at an MVP level.
I was the MVP. I should have been given the MVP, but they fucking love this fucking loser in Green Bay, which we'll get to. But Brady also probably looked at the landscape of the rest of the quarterbacks,
especially in the NFC,
and he heard like, oh, Mitchell Trubisky's going to get a starting quarterback job? Well, fuck that, because I'm definitely better than that motherfucker. Like, there just had to be something in his mind where he's like, man, I'm better than these. Like, he'll walk away when he feels like, okay, I'm not in the top tier anymore. But the minute that he walked back in, the Tampa Bay's odds to win the Super Bowls, they skyrocketed. I mean, everything else,
I wonder what happened if you bet on Tampa to win the Super Bowl this year before.
I don't know. I mean, Vegas.
Not that it matters now.
If you have the little thing with like an official bet that you make at Vegas, I don't think they can go back on it. I think that when you bought it, that was the odds, and that's what it is. But I don't know.
Was it Brady? I can't remember. There was something about somebody came back, like, or if he didn't play, that you would get your money back. I can't remember
Favre?
what it was.
How about the guy that spent like $500,000 at an auction for his last football?
For the last football. Somebody talked about that the other day.
He's got to be sitting there going, "Oh,
what the fuck,
man!" Yeah,
bought that a little too early.
So they tagged Chris Godwin. Mike Evans will be back. I'm sure we'll hear about Gronk soon.
Will come back. Well. Yeah. You know what I am? I am a little. The only thing I'm surprised with is I just didn't think Brady would do this Favre thing to us.
I didn't think so either, but it was kind of. You kind of feel like with him, the only way to go out is holding the trophy.
Maybe.
The only way in his mind to walk away is to be up on. Like,
but then you could see him go, one more.
I could see him do that too. But I think that in his mind, he's always played out the when I finally walk away, I'm gonna be on the fucking stand, and I'm gonna have a chance to say, this was it. This was my last go. Thank you so much. Blah blah blah. I want to be the one to write my own history. I don't want fucking Cooper Kupp on a busted play to be how I go out remembering my football career.
Well, he also said he was going to play till he's 45, which would be this season, right?
Yeah. And again, his skills did not diminish. He did not get worse. His arm strength is still there. He doesn't have to be mobile. That's not who he is. And with today's NFL, I mean, I doubt the wear and tear from last year was very bad. I know he got hit, and I'm sure there was some wear and tear, but it's not anything compared to whenever he was playing 10 years ago and you could get lit up by defensive ends and linebackers and stuff, the Ray Lewis era. Anyways, Tom Brady coming back is the biggest news of all news. And of course, my theory now, I will never bet against the man. I know there are some good teams out there. Tampa Bay is going to win the Super Bowl. But they did lose a offensive lineman, their guard, Kappa.
He went to the Bengals?
To the Bengals.
Yeah. Well, the Bengals got
and Caress from the
guys.
Patriots.
Yep.
So it's nice. Way to go, Bengals. You were doing exactly what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Go get a line to put in front of this guy.
Protect him.
So very, very, very sad to see them for him to go away from Tom, but I'm happy for my new guy, Joe Burrow, that that Bengals are doing what they're supposed to do. So that was cool to see. But I think the Buccaneers will win that division now. Obviously that division sucks. I kind of thought whoever their quarterback was going to be, they were going to win the division anyways, because the rest of the division is still in limbo. But other big news was that the loser himself, Aaron Rodgers, decided that I will take a $200 million deal because money's cool. I get it. That sounds nice. He took it and said, I will cripple my team and I will make it to where they cannot sign Zadarius Smith, who they just officially had to let go because they don't have the money to fucking get him. Devontae Adams is threatening to hold out if they don't give him an actual deal and not just the franchise tag, which...
As he should, honestly.
As he should, but they don't have that now. Now that they're offering $50 million to Aaron... Hey! Shut the fuck up! Shut your mouths! Shut up! But Aaron Rodgers did re-sign with the Green Bay. I thought it was a really lame decision.
150 guaranteed.
It was a really lame decision, though. It was really lame. You just don't care about winning.
Nope.
Green Bay's not in a... They're not going to win. They're not going to win.
This year will be their best chance because it's the least against the cap.
But we've been saying that the Packers have a chance over the last...
In this contract, this is the best year for the Packers
because it's only going to get worse after this.
Because then it's backloaded, and then they're going to end up paying this motherfucker.
Yeah, and you know what you'll be? You'll be the Minnesota Vikings. Because look at the Minnesota Vikings. They paid Kirk Cousins all this money, all this guaranteed money. And yes, Justin Jefferson is good. And it's nice that Adam Thielen, who eventually will walk, because you won't be able to give him another contract. And Dalvin Cook is at the end of his rookie contract. He's eventually going to walk. Aaron Jones eventually is going to walk out the door because you're not going to be able to pay him anymore. And you probably want Aaron Jones to leave because that's how running backs work. But I'm just saying, the Green Bay Packers, I kind of get it and I kind of don't get it. You traded up for Jordan Love, so it seemed like you eventually knew you were going to have to move on from this guy. And I think you just got strong-armed by him, which is weird because you didn't get strong-armed by Brett Favre, but you let this guy kind of strong-arm you. And he's a loser. He's a loser.
Yeah, they won't.
He's a loser.
They won't win.
Honestly, so that was the first domino to fall. We needed to know, all the teams were waiting to see, is he going to go or not? Because all of us that are searching for a quarterback, they view him as option number one. Mm-hmm. But I honestly think Denver got a much better deal out of this. I mean, if you're telling me who's going to win first in the next 5 years, Denver or Green Bay, I'm going to take Denver in that scenario.
Like win a Super Bowl?
Sure. It's probably not likely, but I give them a better shot than Green Bay.
Right. The only thing is that it's going to be harder to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC than the NFC right now.
True.
That would be the only thing.
But injuries there's no injury that could happen in Green Bay where I can accept that they would beat Rams, Buccaneers, even the Cowgirls.
How good is Cortland Sutton and fucking Jerry Jeudy going to be this year?
Does this
Cortland Sutton's really
does this turn Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy into now they're sneaking up in the
We've never
Devontae
seen
Adams?
Cortland Sutton with a fucking quarterback.
Never.
And he's been good.
He's been good without it.
He wasn't very good last year.
No, he had a down year. And Jerry Jeudy will kind of rise up. And I think Jerry Judy's the hidden gem in the fantasy football draft. Yeah. If you're looking for something on that team, it sucks that they had to get rid of Noah Fant. Because Noah Fant would have been nice.
Noah Fant.
But they had to they had to send Noah Fant to Seattle with Drew Lock, Shelby Harris. This is a lot. 2 1s, 2 2s, and a 5.
Oh, that makes me so happy. What are we going to get?
Oh, yeah.
What are we going to
Because
get?
let me tell you, if that's what Russell Wilson, who's 33, deserves,
Oh, my God.
we deserve the world.
We want
3
McCaffrey.
1s,
No.
3 2s. We want Christian McCaffrey. We want Sam Darnold.
Half your offensive line.
And your best defensive player that you have. Yeah, so that was very good news for us. But honestly, I like what Denver did. I like it. Go for broke. You have a good team. You have Javonte Williams, who's young. You've got Jerry Jeudy. You've got a defense that's middle of the pack. You can build around that now.
I like that the NFL is now trading. Maybe like fucking 15 years ago.
Never happened.
Maybe not even that long ago. 5 years. Like nobody
traded,
traded. Nobody made moves.
Especially quarterbacks. It kind of seemed like you held on to your quarterback until he became Rich Gannon, and then you were like, all right, now you can go. But like
Joe Montana.
Yeah, like now it's okay for me to
Get
kick you
the
out.
fuck
Like,
outta here.
Oh, you're Joe Flacco now? It's okay. You can leave now. But like now, I mean, it's
Jeez,
very,
talk about a guy that fucking killed his team by
it's
getting
very
paid
rare.
too much.
Yeah, exactly. With the money, yeah. But it's very rare that you see somebody trade the face of their franchise.
Yeah, I'm pretty-
Russell Wilson was the
It
face
had
of
to
the
have just
Seahawks.
been that he wanted out. Like they had to just say, "Oh, hey,
This was a big haul. They got a lot back in return. Drew Lock is not bad. He really isn't. I know he's gonna struggle, and his career won't go anywhere. But he's not that bad of a quarterback. So the fact that you heard, and like this is what the Texans should look at. Okay, I want your quarterback. So if you're Carolina or New Orleans, well, New Orleans doesn't have a quarterback.
New Orleans doesn't have a quarterback.
And I read today that the Texans shot the Colts down. I love so much that they did that. They told the Colts,
traded. Oh my
they told
god!
the
If
Colts
they
to go
did
fuck
that,
themselves.
they
told the Colts-
should.
They told the Colts, we cannot send him to the AFC South and watch him fucking win
No,
Super Bowls
no.
because he would. He would walk into the Colts and they would win a fucking Super. Jonathan Taylor, that defense. Terrifying.
Or if he went to Tennessee.
Yeah. It's weird that Tennessee has not been, they're like kind of committed to Ryan Tannehill. I thought they were going to be on the move. I thought they were going to.
I would think after that playoff
Yeah.
performance, you would be
'Cause,
like,
like-
okay, he's not the dude.
Even the other ones that like the Falcons are now kind of opening up about we would move on from Matt Ryan. It's a little different than Ryan Tannehill, but even Baker Mayfield, Cleveland is open to moving on from Baker Mayfield. I just thought Tennessee would be in that conversation, but they're not. They're just going to kind of stick with what they got. I don't get it. I don't think they're going to win with Tannehill. And yes, he would win a Super Bowl immediately with Julio Jones and fucking AJ Brown. Deshaun Watson, his entire career had DeAndre Hopkins, but he had no number 2 receivers. So if you give him two receivers on any team that he goes to.
Well, remember, there was when what's his name was healthy for the few games every year.
Oh, Will Fuller.
Right. But when he was,
they were monsters.
It was like, holy
It was like,
shit.
oh wow, look at what he can do.
Yeah.
No, Deshaun is gonna little behind the scenes. Well, I shouldn't tell the story. Never mind. But I'm sad for him, and sad and happy. I'm sad to see him go. He shouldn't stay here. We're a bad team. We're nowhere close to winning a Super Bowl. We're 5 years away from being a competitive team, and he's in his prime. So, and hey, that's a big story too that came out about Deshaun. Every fucking charge was dropped. They didn't even listen to the 10th one.
Really?
The judge said, "Stop. Tony Busby, do you have any evidence? Do you have a rape test? Do you have pictures from where there are bruises?" The most damning one that came out was one of the girls said he pulled his cock out. She starts crying and runs out of the room, and he puts his clothes on and he leaves. And they said, "Okay, well, here's the problem here. What you're telling me is that this man forced these women into doing this. That's against the law. That's an assault. That's sexual misconduct. That's all these things that I can put on him that are felonies. But what you're saying is that he looked for consent, he got none, and he walked out." Well, if that's the case, what you're telling me, so then in these other 8 situations, he just was a completely different person, and he could have forced that other girl into sucking his dick, but he didn't. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, I'll look those 9 women in the face, the 22 women, I'll look you in the face and tell you what happened. Deshaun Watson, who's a good-looking dude, big strapping young man, an NFL quarterback, rolled over with his huge African American penis that was erect, and you sucked it.
His BBC.
Consensually, you put your mouth on it and you sucked it, maybe to completion, maybe you fucked him. Of the 22 women that went to the court, there are 45 women out there that were very pleased by Deshaun Watson, and it became a fetish of his. And it became a thing where he realized, you know what I really like? I like to go get a massage, and I like to roll over and see, will they or won't they? And I'm not going to force them, but I'm just going to play that game with them. And then these fucking bitches, you fucking bitches that went and fucking tried to ruin this man's life, you went out there after you sucked his dick and you went, I think I can get some money off of this. And you said,
and they will probably get
and they will, and they will. They'll go to civil court, and he'll break them off some fucking money, and that's fine. And they'll walk away, and he'll keep going and do his thing. But fuck that shit. Now, am I saying that it makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense. This kid shouldn't have done this. He got carried away. He's a young man that shouldn't have gone to fucking 50 masseuses and try to see.
But there's got to be. So there's not any law against exposing yourself to people. Like you can't just walk around showing people your dick.
And they said this in the court case. The judge said he's been doing this a long time, and he gets a lot of cases from the masseuse world. Now, they don't always involve world famous NFL quarterbacks, but they get a lot of these cases because, and it's no slight on that industry, but this is just kind of the world that you're in. You're naked. You're literally there's skin on skin contact. You're relaxed. Like it happens a lot where like a lot of massage parlors will say, like, we have the right to press charges, or we can kick you out and we can ban you from ever coming back, and that's fine. But a lot of these cases because here's the problem. This goes to a jury. This is basically, and the judge was right. This goes to a jury. This is hearsay. This is hearsay. You're just asking me to say this girl's word versus his word and to Deshaun Watson and his lawyers and everybody,
he denied it. He denied
immediately.
It. Right.
The whole time.
Right.
He said, this is bullshit.
Yeah, that's never happened.
And that's another thing that made me feel like if he really was a sexual predator that was forcing these girls to do this, he might not have been so strong about, no, this didn't happen. I think he literally just he rolled over. What you gonna do about this? And most of them sucked it. Yeah. Most of them sucked it willingly.
Well, they all know who he is. He's a fucking, like you said, he's a good-looking dude. He's a fucking millionaire.
There were 50 girls that shaved their pussy and fucking spruced up before they went because they knew, they were like, I'm massaging Deshaun today. He might roll over, and I'm gonna roll over. Yeah. I mean, I don't buy it, and I fucking hate that these girls did this to him.
Well, that was one of the things that we were always like, we just didn't make sense. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because and the fact that there's so many lets you know that this did turn into a fetish.
Right.
It's not like he just it's not like he was like, man, how long can I get away with this? It was that I am getting away with this.
I'll bet you.
I'm doing it a bunch.
Started
it's
with
fun.
Probably not even him. It was probably the chick was like, let me suck it. And then he's like, oh, shit.
Oh, this is sweet. Yeah.
Or maybe you went to one of the places that do that. Like, do the happy. I don't know.
You know his favorites on Pornhub or the massage porn?
I was going to say, there's a bunch of porn.
There's a Pornhub. There's a whole. Yeah, he loves it. That's his favorite. And no slight on the man. I mean, for that, I can't blame him. I said at the beginning, too, if he was forcing these women, if he was like, oh, suck that, that's not right. That's not right. I'm not okay with that. But the fact that all the lawsuits were dropped, that they didn't even listen to the 10th one, that just makes me know that.
I didn't even know all that. That's crazy. I saw that they dropped all the cases and that, but
and the judge.
I will say, if you're a woman and you are making false claims against any man, that's fucked up.
Well, okay, this comes from not an NFL quarterback and somebody who has had to work for every piece of pussy that he's ever received. But in my experience, most women, I mean, I guess I'm just not that aggressive of a person, but I can't imagine coming onto a girl strong and not taking no for an answer and being like, I'm going to force this to happen. Most of the girls that I've been with have been strong enough people that they would have slapped me. They would have been like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like, don't do this. But And I'm speaking out of pocket here because there definitely are predators out there that do terrible things to women, but I don't know.
True, but I'm talking about false claims, and like you can really fuck up somebody's life by making these false claims.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. It's just
this cost this man millions of dollars.
Yeah, and
millions of dollars,
and his reputation,
his name.
Yeah,
he'll probably always
he'll be Big Ben.
We'll think about this he'll be Big Ben.
Big Ben dropped all those charges too, didn't they?
Now Big Ben though, I think,
but he was found
that was
not
only
guilty,
because
right?
he settled. Only because he paid the people lots before,
like it never went to court
because they dropped it.
I thought that he was found not guilty.
I don't know. I can't remember. I'll have to look that up.
People still call him a rapist.
Deshaun Watson just went in front of a grand jury.
Yeah.
It's not that he went in front of a civil. He's going to do the civil suits after this, and I guarantee he'll have to pay some money. But I don't remember the Big Ben thing. Yeah. But very, very interesting about Deshaun. We are going to get a boatload back for him. I'm happy for him. I hope he goes somewhere and he does well.
It'll be nice to see him play. I mean, that's one of the things.
He's top five quarterback. Yeah, top five quarterback in the league at all times when he's in. I stand by that always. So, let's see. Then Carson Wentz was
a commander
traded from the Indianapolis Colts to the Washington Commanders. It makes them better. It makes them better than they were.
And they're paying his whole
they're paying his big salary.
$26 million.
I believe they gave up a 2 and a 3, something like that. Not bad.
Honestly, it's definitely better. It's good for Washington. How much better is Terry McLaurin now?
I don't know because it's like I just have no belief in Carson Wentz at this point.
Not in the playoffs,
or even late in the regular season, or even to stay healthy. He's better than Taylor Heineke. I give you that.
Who's the Colts quarterback now?
Nobody. They don't have one.
So what are they going to do? Draft somebody?
I think so. I mean, that's got to be the plan, unless they believe they can. I think Jimmy G.
Maybe
Jimmy G's got to be probably in their sights. Jameis Winston's probably got to be in their sights.
God, are they better than Wentz?
But it's a stopgap. And
Garoppolo, I would think is.
The other thing is too. Everyone keeps talking about next year's draft. I don't have names because I don't keep up with college football like this. But apparently, next year's draft,
next year's quarterbacks are better.
Quarterbacks, CJ.
But that would mean that they would
CJ Stroud or whatever his name is.
The Colts should be like that. Would they mean they'd have to plan on fucking this year?
Well, or trade up.
You're
middle of the pack, and you're like, fuck it. We see him in
They've done
future.
This before.
Yeah,
they sucked for luck.
Yeah, they did. They did. So and they could suck it up next year. They could just tell Darius Leonard and Michael Pittman, listen.
They got such a good squad, though.
I know. And Jonathan Taylor's only going to last for so long, but you could have a conversation with those three guys I just named, Michael Pittman, Darius Leonard on the defense, and be like, look,
and they're young.
This is going to be a bad year. We're going to have one bad year, but I swear to God, we are going to go for broke, and we're going to get our guy, and he's going to be in next year's draft. I don't know if those three guys don't want to hear that. They're not going to listen to that. They don't want to hear that we're going to be bad for a year. But at this point, they don't have a quarterback. With Jimmy G over Carson Wentz, I think I'll take that.
I think I would prefer, but it's almost like the same.
They're right there, but Jimmy G has played in the playoffs, and won playoff games.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz has not done that, and has not proven me that he can.
I think that if I had a choice, I'd prefer Jimmy over.
I mean, even listen. I mean, Jameis, for all his shortcomings,
it's
on an Indianapolis Colts team with a good offensive line, with Jonathan Taylor, with. I mean, maybe he makes better decisions than Carson Wentz does in crunch time. Because Carson Wentz against the Jacksonville Jaguars on Week 18.
Hold on. You just said Jameis Winston is going to make better decisions.
I said then Carson Wentz. I
don't know.
I'm in the Down syndrome room and I'm trying to pick my favorite kid. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that there's Mensa scholars here. I'm just saying.
Here's my problem with Jameis is that he's one of those guys that it just seems like there's these guys that although they're very talented, you put them on a team and they make the team like worse, like they're a cancer.
Well, he wasn't doing bad with New Orleans. Yeah. I know he got, and then towards ACL. So I hear you.
I like Jameis. I really do.
I'm not a Jameis supporter by any means. I'm not like he's going to win a Super Bowl.
I've taken care of him. I've talked to him. He's a nice dude.
You and I both agree that Indianapolis is right there. They are right there. They just need a guy to lead them.
I mean, they still got one of the best offensive lines in the game.
Jonathan
in the
Taylor
league. They got one of the best running backs in the league. They got one of the best fucking middle linebackers.
Their whole defense is good,
they
too.
They should have made the playoffs last year.
They definitely should have.
They went in those... With 2 weeks left, they were the team that nobody wanted to fucking see, right?
And then
because you couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
You just couldn't. And then they lost those last 2 games.
They laid an egg.
But...
Carson Wentz laid an egg. I know that's a team game. It's a team game. It's a team game.
It is the team game.
Yeah.
And
you know, fair enough.
They went to fucking Jacksonville and fucking sucked.
I'm just saying there are quarterbacks that are left. Jimmy G, Jameis. I can't really think of anybody else. Even if, let's say, Sam Darnold, let's say Carolina and Indianapolis make a trade. And I don't know why Carolina would do it. Maybe that Carolina loses out on Deshaun, and Deshaun goes to New Orleans.
Who else is up there? Like Bridgewater?
No, Bridgewater signed with the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, Miami actually made a couple moves. I'll tell you who I did. I'm jumping ahead, but the Chargers made a lot of defensive moves.
Khalil Mack.
And fucking what's his name
JC
from
Jackson.
Yeah, JC Jackson from fucking
the Khalil Mack. I was like, okay,
him on the other side of Bosa.
Joey Bosa. Shit. Look out. Look out. Because that's pretty good. If KC doesn't fix their offensive line, good luck with that twice a year. Good luck to Derek Carr twice a year.
Good
I mean,
Lord.
I'm with you. I thought the Khalil Mack, that's the first one up there. That was one of the big trades that came through. And they re-signed Mike Williams, which is good. And the JC Jackson's a great pickup to add to that already good defense that they had.
Yeah.
Now you're just throwing him in the mix. They didn't lose anybody in that. So that's that. Yeah, it's monster. It's monster.
Yeah,
briefly on Teddy Bridgewater, it's not a bad idea because Tua does get hurt all the time. So if you're thinking like I could step into this role, I'm maybe not going to get a starting role. I mean, he could have got a starting role. It's kind of surprising that he wouldn't like.
That is kind of weird.
I mean, also the Denver trade had already happened, so why wouldn't call Seattle up or New Orleans is still looking for a quarterback.
Trubisky got a fucking starting job.
How crazy is that? That's the next one on this list here. Mitchell fucking Trubisky. I'm not
honestly. He's better than. But wouldn't you say that he's probably better than Ben?
Well, yeah, but Ben was done.
Right, but like it makes Pittsburgh better, right? Maybe. What if Josh Allen really rubbed off on him and he's what if?
But he can't add the size. He can't add Josh.
He's pretty big though.
He's not 6'5". He's not Josh Allen.
No, he's not Josh Allen. No.
You can't if Josh Allen did rub off on you, Trubisky, do not lower your shoulder and run through people the way that Josh Allen does because you are not that guy and you will get hurt immediately. I think the bigger question is how does Mason Rudolph feel? I know that he's not great, but I mean,
Trubisky's got to be better than Rudolph though.
Again, we're splitting hairs here. Is he?
Well,
I'm not a Trubisky fan. I guess that's
started games in the NFL. I think he has a winning record.
Not a Trubisky fan.
I'm not a big Trubisky fan either, but I think it makes Pittsburgh.
I think you're right.
Better.
It makes them better. And
I don't know if it makes the receivers better. Though.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
because he's not a great thrower.
It seems like a placeholder. It seems like a stopgap. That's what Rich Eisen called him. He's a stopgap. They're gonna wait for something else, and they should. They got to rebuild some things. They just had another Villanueva retired, so they lost another.
That's their left tackle, right?
All pro offensive lineman. They've lost 3 now in the last 2 years. So I see Pittsburgh kind of rebuilding themselves. It makes sense that they didn't go for broke on one of these other guys. I kind of respect it because I mean you're not going to win this year. That Pittsburgh, even if they got Deshaun Watson right now, I still don't have them winning the Super Bowl, especially in the AFC. Like you said, the AFC is so tough. Yeah. To get out of the AFC, there's no way.
It's going to be, even their division is going to be difficult.
And then Seattle, in the fire sale that they were doing, they just decided, let's trade the offensive captain that we have, and let's just release the longtime defensive captain that we have. If you're Jamal Adams on the fucking Seattle Seahawks that just got paid, you've got to be like, what? DK Metcalf and Jamal Adams have to be like, oh my God.
What are we doing?
The fuck are we doing? Like, But yeah, Bobby Wagner, he's a big name still. I still think he plays at a high level. Wherever he goes, he makes a difference. That was a big free agent release to me. And Jarvis Landry got cut too. I was kind of surprised by that. But they did trade for Amari Cooper. So Amari Cooper got traded. Dallas, I guess they pulled off a miracle because it is a big contract. It's $20 million, which I wouldn't have given Amari Cooper. And
They had to sign their defensive players, though.
They did. They did. And they restructured.
Well,
they restructured Dak's. Dak's contract is now backloaded,
right.
And they talked Zach Martin into less money.
Well, Zeke's the one killing him right now.
Zeke is the one killing him.
That's why
and
he don't pay the running back.
And he will for the next 2 years.
And they can't. There's
this is
nothing
why
they
you
can
don't
do.
give him 6 years, because no one's going to take this.
Yeah.
Even if you cut him, it counts against your cap for sure. You do not pay running backs.
No.
He's 100% right.
No.
Don't pay Najee. I love you, Najee. Don't pay him. Don't pay Jonathan Taylor. Don't pay none of it. Look at Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You paid Christian McCaffrey all this money, and now you can't get rid of him. Nobody wants this. It doesn't make any sense. Mm-mm. And
it's unfortunate for the running backs, but it's what it is.
They had come out earlier where they said they were just going to cut Amari Cooper, and that really was stupid if you hadn't fielded any calls yet, which is what must have happened.
Right.
It must not have called out and said, "Hey, you want this guy? You want this guy? You want this guy?" Or maybe they didn't get anything back on that because they were like, "No, we're not going to give them what they want," which is a big.
What did 5
and a 6?
That's all.
That's it.
But they got to take on his contract.
Yes, they got that $20 million off the books, which they were then able to turn around into DeMarcus Lawrence and shockingly Randy Gregory. I did not think they were going to be able to get both of them to come back.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, Randy Gregory was this morning. I wrote this out this morning, and I saw that this morning. I was like, holy shit. And they paid him more than they did DeMarcus Lawrence, obviously because he's younger. But I actually thought DeMarcus Lawrence is the better of the two and played really well at the end of the year. It was shocking to me that he kind of it seems like he took a discount to stay in Dallas. But and Michael Gallup also, I feel like, took a discount. I know he just tore his ACL, but if you think of it in Amari Cooper terms, he's getting half of what Amari got.
Yeah. But I would say even from Cleveland's perspective, Amari Cooper's an upgrade as far as he's better than
yeah, he's better than Odell.
Is he?
Yeah. Odell lost a step. Odell's not the same person. Odell benefited from the fact that he was the number 2 to the
Cooper Kupp.
best receiver in the league.
Right.
Not a number 2 to a good receiver. He didn't go to Pittsburgh where he's the number 2 to Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. No, he went to where literally everyone's going, where the fuck is Cooper Kupp? Is he behind me? Is he behind me? Where the fuck is he? He's the boogeyman. Like, he went to a place where he's wide open. The defense's focus was not on Odell. It was just on Cooper Kupp.
That's true. That's a good.
And even Tampa Bay's defense couldn't figure out where the fucking guy was. So Amari Cooper is an upgrade. However, I mean, you got Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I am too.
I'm out.
So then maybe.
And then they immediately released Jarvis Landry after that, I guess, because he realized, where's my space in this if Amari Cooper's here.
Landry's he's going to be a great receiver for somebody.
Yeah.
He'll go. He watch him go to Tampa.
That's why Bobby Wagner and Jarvis Landry's name that I put over there, that I see them as that wherever
Tampa
they
Bay
go, they are going to definitely help. They're going to be an instant upgrade. They will make that team an instant.
Who is Tampa's slot receiver? Is it Godwin?
Well, no, it'll be no, because it's Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are kind of 1 and 2, and they move Godwin a lot in the slot, but it's now Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller and
so will Bobby Wagner and Jarvis Landry go to Tampa?
Woo! We win in a Super Bowl. That'd be nice. But I don't know. I don't know what their mindset is. If they want one last paycheck, Tampa Bay might not be it because they're going to be a little strapped for cash.
Yeah.
But they are actually. That's not true. Tampa Bay's cap is about to go up because there are a lot. JPP, Nakumden Sue, Ronald Jones, OJ Howard are all free agents. So if they don't bring some of those people back and they supplement them with someone else, and honestly, some of those names I don't know if you need. You have Vita Vea, you have Shaq Barrett, you have you still have Devin White, you still have that young secondary. They brought Carlton Davis back, so I don't know how. I mean, Bobby Wagner would be awesome. The fact you add Bobby Wagner to that group, that'd be amazing. And Jarvis Landry too. Jarvis Landry's your slot guy next to Mike Evans. Jarvis Landry's better than
Jarvis Landry would be like his
Antonio
Edelman.
Brown. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
because I mean that's what he does.
Yeah.
Like he's a master at
I
those.
didn't put it on here. I wonder if Antonio Brown gets picked up.
Oh,
He said he wants to go to the Cowboys. He said he wants to go to the Cowgirls. And Jerry Jones,
Yeah, he don't
he
give a
loves
shit.
him some eyeballs, even if they're bad. Oh, you don't
No,
want.
there's no such thing as
Oh,
bad
you want
publicity,
T.O.?
right?
Y'all don't like T.O.? Get the fuck over here. Let's do it. Yeah, so I could see Antonio Brown going there, but I don't know. I think it might be mid-season. I don't think he gets picked up right now. I think people wait.
I think that people got to be a little nervous about it.
Yeah, for
Got to
sure.
be a little nervous about
For sure.
that.
And if you're calling his previous employer, they're not saying good things. They're just going to pull up the tape and go, did you see where he left us in the middle of the game? He threw everything in the stands. Yeah. So Michael Gallup, I brought him up. He went back to Dallas. Zach Ertz went back to Arizona.
So did James Conner.
James Conner.
And the nice thing will be is that
And
he's
Chase Edmonds went to Miami,
so
too.
That's no more two back. It should be all. Conner should be one of them.
I won't be able to get him very,
You're not
very
gonna
late
release him.
in the.
You're not
No, I
gonna-
won't.
you're not gonna let him go.
And he's not hidden anymore. He
Now he'll be.
he was a
I would
hidden
guess
gem.
a second rounder.
Yeah, he should
third
go high.
rounder.
He should go high. Chase Edmonds to Miami. I like the Miami. Like you said, I like the. They also got Cedric Wilson, and they made some good moves. I like the Chase Edmonds pickup. Arizona getting their James Conner. This is sad for us Houston Texans fans. We lost Justin Reed to the Kansas City Chiefs, which is essentially, in my mind, closes the door on Honey Badger, who's still out there. So Honey Badger is still a free agent, and he could go somewhere cool. Jacksonville actually made a couple of moves. They got the guard from Washington, Schreff. They got Evan Ingram. I think they picked up a receiver too. I can't remember the name, but yeah,
They lost Shark though, huh?
yeah. DJ Chark went to the. They lost Chark, but who was it that they got? They got a receiver, but I can't remember who it was. But CJ Uzma from the Bengals.
They'll miss him.
Shut the fuck up! Yeah, he went and got paid by the Jets. I saw the contract. It was silly. It was like, oh yeah, you definitely got. If you're CJ Uzma, you go. I mean, Super Bowl is fun and everything, but
I like money.
this money thing is pretty cool too. So I'll take that money. So yeah, he went to the Jets, and his career will suck because of it. And DJ Chark went from the Jacksonville Jaguars to the Detroit Lions.
Yay, good job,
Yeah,
Shark.
good for you, brother. But so far, that's the biggest free agent signings that I could kind of see. We have some openings definitely still at quarterback at Indianapolis, New Orleans. Carolina has Sam Darnold still. We still, Houston Texans do have Davis Mills. So we can't say that Carolina and
He
Houston
started some games. I mean,
No.
he wasn't.
and we could
terrible.
roll him out there next year. We definitely could.
And honestly, if next year's the better class, then let's fucking suck it
up,
in, man.
and get him. And yeah,
Let's get a quarterback.
yeah, I'm down with that. And Seattle, that might be the game plan with them. That might be the game plan with Seattle. And they'll probably roll Drew Lock out there or Geno Smith. They have both of them. They'll let them compete, and they'll roll one of them out there. As them cutting Bobby Wagner is evident, they are in this to
Yeah,
tank.
they're in full rebuild mode, I would guess.
But Indy and New Orleans, they have no quarterbacks. New Orleans has Taysom Hill, but as I said, they have no quarterbacks. Indianapolis, it's like Jake Ellenberger, that Texas kid.
Texas.
But he's not starting.
Ellinger?
He's not a starting quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Where's what's his name? Fuck. What the other Texas quarterback?
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy.
He went back to Arizona. He re-signed as
He just wants
as a
to be a
backup.
backup.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a backup, but still,
Well,
he
and-
could be better. I mean, like he'll fucking sling the ball around.
He's like his body type to me just is like kind of Baker Mayfield-ish,
Yeah,
where it's
he's
like
little.
you're just not big enough to be an NFL quarterback, and your arm isn't good enough. So I just don't know if I
I
can.
mean, the only one that really breaks that mold was Drew Brees. You know?
Yeah. And Drew, I mean, listen, we can say that he broke that mold, and I know that he's one of the best quarterbacks, but in the playoffs, it always seemed like he was dinged up because he's a little guy that's getting lit up. Kyler
was
Murray
hurt a
knows
lot.
this. Kyler Murray knows this. He knows. That's why he's forcing his hand on this. He's saying, I got to get my money because I'm not gonna make it through this. There's no fucking way. He probably got lit up once by one of these NFL quarterback or NFL defensive ends or whatever. He got hit by a quarterback. He probably, if Josh Allen hit him, it would hurt him very badly. There's still some quarterback positions left. And like we said, Jimmy G's still out there. Jameis Winston's still out there. Yeah, I guess Jimmy G's not out there like a free agent, but he is.
Trade for him.
And San Francisco has said we are trading Jimmy G. So I think it's them probably negotiating pretty hard because they don't want to give. You really don't want to give a number one pick, but I'm sure that's what San Francisco is trying to stick to. Just give us a number one pick. We don't need anything else. Give us one number one pick, and you can have Jimmy G. And if you're Indianapolis,
do it.
Or I mean, yeah, because I just don't. I don't understand the mindset of like we'll suck. Well, I mean, they've done it before, like you said. They sucked for Andrew Luck, and it worked. So if that's the plan,
I'm just not sure that they can. Can that team suck that bad though to get
Could
one of those
be the number one pick?
picks? They're going to have to trade for it.
I mean, even in their division, the Jacksonville Jaguars are still going to be worse than them,
so
right?
are we.
Yeah. I would say with no quarterback, maybe we could have a better record than the Indianapolis Colts. But that's a big maybe. Yeah. Big maybe.
Like you'd really have to put like fucking Ellinger out there and let him.
And he might even win you some games with Jonathan Taylor.
The way they ran the ball last year for that stretch was
Carson Wentz wasn't winning you games. It was Jonathan.
He just
Taylor.
wasn't losing them.
Yeah. And then at the end, he said,
right, I'll lose. Then he lost them at the end.
And then the other big thing that came out is a young man that decided to ruin his life. And his name is Calvin Ridley.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm confused by this, and I haven't looked into it, but why does it matter that he bet on sports when he wasn't playing? Why does that matter? I mean, I understand it's a part of their contract that they're not allowed to.
I don't know. But he was betting on the Falcons, wasn't he?
To win.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Pete Rose thing. Pete Rose always bet to win.
This was online.
Right.
And we could see it. Yeah. And I can see the bets that he made. So, like, Pete Rose's was it with a fucking bookie on the side, and we have no idea if he was betting for the Reds to lose or win, and which games was it? What was his play like on that day? We don't know. It's never come out. That
was when he was managing.
Again, this doesn't even but some people say that the rumor too. Again, this is all rumor. We don't know. There's no evidence. There's no proof. It's just. It came out that he bet. He admitted it. He had bookies that snitched on him. He had people that snitched on him, and we all found out he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's still Pete Rose. Calvin Ridley is about to lose his career because he was taking a year off. I mean, in his mind and in my mind, I've got to kind of side with him where it's like, wait, how's this wrong? Like, I'm not playing. Like, what's wrong with me making some bets while I'm sitting at home? On the same side of the token, you are taking a break for mental health because you need a break away from the game, and you're sitting at home and you're betting on your team, but you're not taking a break then. So you're watching football just to try to make some extra Skrillex on the side. Why do you even need the extra Skrillex on the side? You're a fucking well-paid receiver.
Yeah. Whew. Well, it's gambling. Why did Drake put $275,000 on the UFC fight a couple weeks ago? Oh, Masvidal, that's right.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess
he don't need the money.
No, that's true. But I'm saying from Calvin Ridley's point of view, why would you risk your career?
Well, that's
for
betting. If it's in your contract that you can't bet on games, and you're doing it online.
You fucking moron!
You gots to have a fall guy.
Yeah,
why don't you give some money to your buddy?
He did it under his name
and fucking have him put it on.
You don't have friends. That you're gonna give him the money to and said, "Hey, will you gonna do this for me?" God damn it!
Where's Michael Irvin at?
I don't get it.
No, wait, that was Chris Carter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Chris Carter was it. You gots to have a fall guy.
I don't get why he's getting suspended on it because it really doesn't make sense to me. Like, he wasn't playing, so I don't understand how he would affect the game in any way. But nevertheless, they suspended him for next year, and there are people saying that it's going to be more than that because they're looking into it to see how much he was betting, and if there were they want to subpoena his phone to see if they can get old text messages to see if he was sending messages to players saying, "Hey, I'll break you off a little bit I need you to let up a little bit today." Like texting Falcon fellow receivers and saying, "You drop a couple passes in a big moment. I mean, I know I get it, but I'll give you a couple thousand." I don't know. But I'm saying that's what they want. That's what they want to find out. And if that comes out, this guy doesn't deserve to play anyways. But what a stupid fucking mistake. This guy went from somebody that I thought in the next couple of years would have,
he was supposed to have. It was last year was supposed to be his.
He could have risen up and been top tier, but
no Julio, and he gets his chance to shine, and he crumbled under the pressure.
Yep. And now you're who's the Josh Gordon? Now you're Josh Gordon, but for a totally different reason. And Josh Gordon should have never been suspended. That poor man.
And guys got to realize that it's the NFL, man.
They don't play
whatever the fuck they want.
They don't play. No. You cannot act out. You cannot be.
You got to protect the shield.
Yeah, and Calvin Ridley. Yeah, what an idiot. What an idiot. However, I don't get it. What an idiot, and I don't get it at the same time. But yeah, football. I think we hit all the big football moves. I don't think there was anything else that other than Big Ben's got to be happy. Because now he can go into the Hall of Fame by himself. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Brady's day in the Hall of Fame and Big Ben in the back. Like, I won 2. I mean, fuck. Now it can kind of be Big Ben's day and then retirement. He also he retired. It was like 12 hours of us being like, "Oh, Big Ben retired," and then fucking Brady's came out, and then it was all about Brady, and we completely forgot about Big Ben. He's got to feel some kind of way about it right now. He's got to be like, "This motherfucker, did you just outshine my retirement? Did you just fucking?"
Hey, well, he's done it his whole career, so I don't. Yeah, he's got to be used to it by now.
True. He's like, "Yeah, Brady always does this to me," and I mean. Now my mindset is I really want him to beat Rodgers. I truly believe Rodgers plays next year and then he retires and he doesn't get this whole contract that he's talking about because he's so weak-minded. He's so weak-minded. They're gonna lose again in the playoffs. They're gonna lose again. They're a team that lives in Wisconsin that's not good in cold weather.
Well, if
make that sense,
if he doesn't care about winning. What the fuck's he care? All he's got to do is go out there and make his money. I mean, why sign the contract?
His body is not like Tom Brady's, though.
Yeah, but why sign the contract if you don't?
I think it's kind of a fuck you to Green Bay.
Well, and also he gets less this year.
Yeah, but I think it was a fuck you. I think it was a fuck you to Green Bay. Just I'm gonna prove that I own you. You do what I say. Yeah, but I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is a loser, and I want Brady to last longer than him. I want Brady to be in the league longer than Aaron Rodgers. I want him to watch Aaron Rodgers retire and Matt Ryan retire, and him still be there with all gray hair, just going, "I still sling the rock." But yeah, that's just me being a Brady fanatic. The other thing that happened is that baseball came back. We had some cool things happen in baseball, like no more shifts. You got rid of that. Won't be till next year, though. Not this current year.
But they took away the extra inning rule too, which is weird. Why?
Thank God that thing went away. I hated that. The Ghost Man.
But the whole reason was to make the games not last as long.
I know, but it was just so easy to win the game. It was just so easy to be if you're home field and you could throw your guy on second. Then I mean, you always had a chance. It ended up with a lot of like the away team would score because you had a man on second, and now the home team could just go and score too.
All right.
So it actually was causing longer games. I think because you could. Yeah, I mean they still
I don't watch much baseball anyways.
Well, anyways, that extra inning thing is gone. The pitcher hitting that is gone. Goodbye. You will now have DH and NL and AL.
Oh, really? I didn't see
that. There are designated hitters across the board.
So what baseball is doing is now they're doing what all the other sports are doing is they're trying to increase runs.
Yeah, we need scores. And the infield shift is big because they had they had shown that the singles are gone. Nobody hits singles anymore because everyone's shifting and everyone knows where everyone's going to hit. So you can't have your feet. The infielders can't have their feet in the outfield, and the outfielders can't have their feet in the infield in the dirt. So they can stand on the edge.
And you can only have 2 on each side of the bag.
Can't have 3 on one side of the bag.
So then, they're going to come up with something else then?
Well, what they've already said is
can the outfielders shift?
Not before the pitch. After the pitch, you can move wherever you want, which is what they've said. So you're going to get guys standing right on the other side of the bag, right on the edge of the infield or the edge of the whatever. And then the minute that the pitch happens, they're going to just move over. Which, honestly, they might realize that's not really the best way to play baseball.
Right. Well, we'll figure it out. Or we'll find out.
Moving before you want to be set. The best baseball players, they need to react.
Yeah, because if they're moving one way and the ball
all of a sudden
happens to go the other way,
they go running left, and then now players realize this and start hitting the other way. It could be hugely, but.
It should increase run production.
It should. Stolen bases have gone down because nobody's on first base, so nobody's stealing any bases anymore. And they just want to kind of increase all that. I like it all. Shohei Ohtani will still hit. He'll still get to hit. He'll just be called
the DH.
Pitcher DH now. And, he'll just, which is.
So he be the pitch? He does. So when he pitches, he won't be able to hit?
Yes, he will. They'll just call him Pitcher DH. And if you really want
you'd have an extra guy on your bench then, I guess? Because you'd have one player filling 2 roles?
No, because everybody has a DH now.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So, he would always be the DH every game.
He can, and the Angels do that with him a lot.
Right.
But now, my question is...
Oh, wait, they always had the DH, though.
Yeah, they always had the DH. He was always He was always pitcher DH. When he played games at home, they pitcher DH.
Did he hit when he was pitching?
Yeah. What was weird was when they took him out as a pitcher, sometimes they would stick him in right field so that he could keep hitting. But now my question is, if he's a DH...
Oh, that's okay.
I just don't know, but
why wouldn't you be able to switch him from pitch? Because you can move your first baseman to third base.
Well, but he's the only person that we've ever...
Right, no, but then why couldn't you move a guy from pitcher to DH instead of pitcher to outfield?
I don't know. I think it's...
Or just to put a different bat in the lineup.
It's something about the idea of taking him out as pitcher off of the defensive side of the ball. Because the DH, you're not a defensive player. So right. I don't know if maybe that's what it is if you take him off of being a pitcher and you take him off the field, then he's out of the game. And I don't know if that's still the case.
But he can move. That's so weird.
It's weird. Why would he not be allowed to move the DH and just be DH?
If he can move from one position on the field to the other, and the DH is a position, it just doesn't.
Yeah, it has something to do with the fact that he was the starting pitcher, and now he's been removed. So now he has to be
I don't know. That's an interesting.
But that's weird. And again, he's the only one. There's no other pitcher that we're going to make this argument about. Every other pitcher can go take a seat, but for him, he's got to keep hitting. So, and I actually think in the long run, he might stop pitching and just
he's a better hitter.
He's a better hitter than he is a pitcher. So, yeah. And so we had some moves. I'm going to start from the bottom because that technically is the old. Actually, up until Javi Baez, Mark Stroman. Stroman was the last one. Those all happened before the lockout. Okay. Justin Verlander came back to Houston. We had Noah Syndergaard go to the Angels. Kendall Graveman sadly left us, and he went to the White Sox. That makes the White Sox very scary. They were already a good young team, and that
was the reliever we got from Seattle, right?
And he was really good. Starling Marte went to the Mets, man. The Mets are going for broke. We are winning a World Series this fucking year. The Starling Marte, Max Scherzer, they got Bassett from the Athletics, who was an all-star last year. They still have Pete Alonso. They have Francisco Lindor. They are stacked. The fact that their rotation is, and I'm putting these in no specific order.
DeGrom,
Max Scherzer, DeGrom, and now this Bassett kid. No, they don't have Syndergaard. They lost Syndergaard to the Angels.
Oh, Syndergaard went to the Angels.
But Bassett was an all-star last year, and he did really well. And they signed him to a big deal, too. So the Mets are going for broke. The Mets are trying to win immediately. Corey Seager got that monster deal from the Rangers that we know.
Mets.
Yeah, probably. They probably still will. They probably still will fuck it up. Marcus Stroman went to the Cubs. And then there was the lockout, and now we've come out of the lockout, and we're about to see a frenzy of free. Actually, I thought it would go faster than it did, because I'm of the assumption that even though you were not supposed to be talking to each other, that all these fucking people, all the agents and all the teams.
Well, and also isn't like the season's about to start.
Yeah,
like,
they got to get on it.
Yeah,
well, they delayed the start. But
aren't they?
They're still going to play 162 games, but it's pushed everything back now. It's weird, yeah. So now
they gotta go to spring training.
I know, and they're going to play in the cold. Like it's not going to be. It's Mr. December now. Like you're going to be like, yeah, it's going to be strange. I think that one of the things I saw said that they might try to throw a bunch of double headers somewhere in the middle of the, like, force these guys to play a bunch of games. Why do you need 162 fucking games?
We talking about this.
Can we just lose some fucking games, you greedy ass motherfuckers?
Right, Jesus.
And you don't even fill up the stadiums for all these games. So, like, what are we talking about here? How much are you actually making? I don't know. But either way,
hey, at least they're making some moves to try to make it more.
Yeah,
fun.
They're trying. Oh, the pitch clock.
Oh, the pitch clock. I did hear about that. But wasn't that supposed to be something a few years ago?
talked about it, but now it's official. Next year,
there's going to be a clock that we can see?
19 seconds. Yep.
And it has to get off in 19. So what happens if they don't?
It's a balk.
Oh. So the can you balk on? You can't balk on the base. What if no one's on base?
If no one's on base, then a balk counts as a ball, right? Ooh. If there's no one on base, I think that if you balk with no one on base, that goes to a ball to the batter.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know. Can you balk when no one's on base?
Or maybe it's maybe it's a ball. Maybe I'm saying the wrong word, and it counts as a ball.
I guess you could balk when no one's on base.
Yeah,
because it's just starting your move. It's starting your motion and stopping.
The first person comes up, but he fucks up and he balks, then that's still a balk. And yeah, I think it's a ball. I think that you just get a ball, or maybe he gets the base.
I don't know. I don't
know.
There's a few rules that we don't know about baseball.
Yeah, we're not professionals here. Yes, we are. Brought to you by DraftKings.
Yeah, we are. We're professionals. We just don't know the rules of everything.
Carlos Rondon was a really good pitcher from the lefty from the White Sox, and he went to the Giants, which is terrifying because the Giants were already pretty good last year. So you add that arm to that group. It's a good little pickup. I talked about Bassett to the Mets. Josh Donaldson got traded to the Yankees with a big trade with the Twins.
Yeah, and they gave up
Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez. Gio was a young player that they just re-signed before the lockout, and then they used him as trade bait for a guy that, I know Josh Donaldson won an MVP, but he's not that guy anymore. He's years removed from that. And I know he played well last year for the Twins and they went to the playoffs, but I wasn't blown away by Josh Donaldson. He seems
like a Yankee, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does seem like a Yankee. White guy. They love their white guys. But I don't know. I think they gave away too much. I don't understand giving up. Gary Sanchez has been on the decline every year since he's had that year in 2018 or whatever it was. He's gotten worse and worse. So I think they were okay with losing him, but it's weird that they got rid of Gio. I did not expect that. And Josh Donaldson obviously gives them a third baseman that they didn't have. I think the Yankees are still going to sign Carlos Correa. It scares me to say it, but I believe that that's still going to happen.
And we're going to get Trevor Story then is what they're saying.
Woo! That would be nice.
Take Trevor Story.
That would be actually, I think it's an upgrade. Carlos Correa gets hurt all the time. And I love him, and he's had some big moments for us in the playoffs, but defensively, if we throw Trevor Story in there, we didn't lose a step. Nothing changes. So I like that. Nelson Cruz is the first evidence of that the DH is now a worldwide thing. He went to a National League team and became the DH for the Washington Nationals. Nationals still weren't very good last year, so I don't smell it really changing them that much. But Nelson Cruz is all. I love Nelson Cruz, and
he's in his 40s.
He's a good player, but he can still crack. So
he hit over 30 home runs last year.
And Clayton Kershaw got a prove it to me deal, and he got a 1 year come back to the Dodgers and prove it to me, and we'll give you a bigger one.
I think Kershaw's pretty much done.
Yeah, I think so too. They only gave him $17 million, which is probably the lowest of his career.
He's not an ace anymore, right?
Yeah, no. And, I mean, if they get Trevor Bauer back and they still have Bueller. And
What's going on with Bauer?
Well, he got an at last I saw, they got an extension on his leave because the courts are all fucked up. They've all been pushed back because of COVID.
Is it because it's in California?
Well, yeah, that too. But also, like, that's why Deshaun Watson is just now getting. This was a year ago.
That's true.
He missed a whole year of play because he was waiting on these courts to get caught up, and then he finally got to get in front of the grand jury and get released of all this. So that's kind of what Trevor Bauer's going through now. And it kind of sounds like the Trevor Bauer thing's bullshit too. The more you read on it, it's kind of like, oh, okay, this sounds a little fabricated as well. So
right.
I don't know. But
I mean, Jesus, man, these fucking women. You see that money?
Yep.
And that's you. All you gotta do is say something.
Yep.
Make an allegation.
So yeah, but baseball is back. It's good because if they had missed an entire year, I go as far to say I don't think I really would give a fuck anymore. I think it would kind of make me go, okay, well, if you motherfuckers don't care and you millionaires, billionaires are just arguing at each other, I'll watch football. I'll get into hockey. Like I'll watch something else. So
it's just really.
I still do want to get into hockey, but
it's just the only thing on. In the summer if you're sports fan.
Yeah. And they're so long that I think for people that work in restaurants, I always think of it as like it's nice to have up on the TV because it's going to be going on for so long that it'll give me something to look at. Oh, are we winning? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Way to go. And for us, Houston, Texas, we don't have a lot else to look forward to.
They are.
We only got the Houston Astros, so I'm going to continue to watch baseball as long as the Houston Astros are the only good team that we got. But basketball is coming to an end here. We are very close to the end of the season. I think there's like 20-something odd games for each team left. We're very close to the end. And I just, for shits and giggles, threw up somebody was asking me at work, where would I put Bron in the current standings of NBA players? And I will say this. His defensive lack thereof, he doesn't play defense anymore. A lot of these guys on this list, there are a lot of them that don't play very good defense. Defense in the NBA doesn't really exist as much anymore. They don't play strong defense the way they used to. And when I say defense, I mean Bill Laimbeer knocking somebody the fuck out.
Well, they're not allowed
that
to.
just doesn't happen anymore, So that kind of defense, I don't know what you're looking for from him, but like I see what you're saying when you say he doesn't play that side of the ball. I get it. However, at his age, and this is a big deal, it is a big fucking deal because at 37 years old, I had to go back and look because I am myself not 37 years old. But I had to go and look of other greats and when they fell off / kept being relevant and good. First of all, last night he became one of one. He became the only person ever to have 10,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. I would go as far to say I don't think anybody's ever going to do that again. I don't see an NBA player that we have right now that has the game that he has where you could convince me that he's going to play long enough to have that career. So I'll go through some of the greats. Michael Jordan. When he was 37, he was retired. When he was 38, he was retired. When he was 39 and 40, he played for the Washington Wizards. We all know what happened when he played on the goddamn Wizards. We like to forget about it. We like to not talk about it, but he was terrible on the Wizards. He was never throwing down the dunks that LeBron James at 37 years old, some of the dunks that the 56-point game that he had not too long ago where he went God mode. And I can only call it God mode because I didn't realize the guy still had it in him, but he's had some 50-point games recently that make me go, holy fucking shit. We've never seen this before. Ever.
How old was Kareem?
Okay, very good. You picked him. You picked the one guy that you can bring to me that did play till he was 41 years old. He won a championship when he was 40 with rookie magic. Mm-hmm. So Kareem is the one person, and Kareem, when I went back and looked, because everybody misses games. Michael Jordan, there was a year, I don't remember it, but it was early in his career where he only played like 40 games because he hurt his knee, and he was out for a long time.
I think it was the second year.
Karl Malone's actually the other one that was another Iron Man. Karl Malone pretty much played every
time.
fucking game, never missed. There was one season towards the tail end of his career where he must have gotten hurt because he only played 19 games in a season.
Did Bron pass Malone for points?
It's close.
Okay,
he's close. He's about 100 away.
Okay.
He's about 100 away. So he'll probably do it by the end of the he will.
He'll do it by the end of the year.
by the end of the year.
And then I think that he'll 2 more years
He
to
needs
get
at
to
least 2 more
Kareem.
years, and he's going to have to consistently score 30 points a game. But the 30 points a game is very interesting because when you look at these other guys, including Kareem, his points per game when he got older decreased significantly.
Yeah.
Now he had guys around him. He had, James
had
Worthy
Worthy,
and
yeah.
fucking
Magic.
Michael Cooper and fucking people that could score for him, so he didn't have to be that guy.
Right.
But the other guys, Karl Malone, that fell off a cliff, boy.
Yeah.
When he got to a certain age, I believe his last year with the LA Lakers, which was terrible,
that's right.
he
I forgot
averaged
he was-
7 points a game, and he was completely irrelevant. He also in that season he played he played like 30 games or something. So I don't even know what was wrong with that, but he was totally over the hill. I believe he was 39. Now, Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the two people that are ahead of him on the points, the reason that I'm getting that they were what they are, Kareem and Karl Malone were Ironmen, just like fucking they played all
the
these
time.
games. They never missed
And that
games.
doesn't include playoff
No.
points, correct?
Right.
He's already the highest.
Oh, LeBron's the highest on all of that. But it's because Kareem had a bunch of missed years at the beginning of his career where he wasn't going deep into the playoffs when he was on Milwaukee. Yeah. I wasn't alive for any of this. I don't remember.
I wasn't
But
either.
there was a lot of lost years for Karl Malone too, where they didn't go deep in the playoffs because they'd run into the Rockets or they'd run into the Phoenix Suns with fucking
Barkley.
Charles Barkley. And so there were some years where they weren't deep in the playoffs either. So my guy, LeBron James, pretty much every fucking year adds tacks on another fucking season when he plays in the playoffs. And that's why he's the highest on all these playoff minutes. It just, to me, it's what makes him GOAT because when you look at his career, also, somebody brought up this the other day. It's a great fucking point. You look at the teams that he played in these finals that we want to say, oh, look at the teams that you lost to in the finals. First of all, I give you the Dallas Mavericks, okay? I concede
That was his first year, wasn't it?
No, he went with the Xandris Ilgauskas, Mo Williams, and whatever, and they lost to, who did they lose to? Oh, it just lost me. It just left me. Anyways, when he was really young, but they beat the Celtics Big Three. That was the one where he had that monster Game 6, and he dunked all over Kevin Garnett, and they ended up winning. They ended up going to the finals, but I think they got swept in the finals because he had Mo Williams and Xandris Ilgauskas. But then after that, his first year with Miami was against Dallas. Then he played OKC. They won that one, and then he
crushed OKC.
played the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, and Bruce Bowen, and I just want to say maybe one of the dynasties that we could put in a top 10 dynasty of all time. Okay. Also, he then played a Golden State Warrior team that will go down as one of the best dynasties of all time.
Oh yeah, that 3 year span,
especially when they got Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I would go as far as
that might be one of the best teams
that's
ever.
one of the best teams ever.
Yeah.
Who beats that team? Jordan's Bulls have a hard time with that team.
Oh yeah,
They don't have defenders that would be able to. No one has defenders that could stretch to all three of those guys.
Right.
No one has three defenders that can run with them and stay with them. And okay, oh my God, now he's over here. I mean, it's terrifying. I just think that we don't put into perspective. We just look at his finals wins and losses, and we say, oh well, look at the wins and losses. It's like, yeah, but he played some monster fucking teams, man.
Yeah.
He played some monster teams, and he always in the finals showed up.
Yeah.
He never didn't show, except
not
for
just
Dallas.
that.
Except for Dallas.
and not just that, but then I mean the Cleveland one when they came back,
That was amazing.
that was, I mean, arguably
the greatest
best
performance of all
fucking-
time.
Yeah,
The greatest performance of all time in your home city with all the pressure on you.
and they had to win 2 games.
You left and came back, so like you and the owner aren't even on good terms. Michael
And
Jordan
honestly, they didn't have
retired
that.
3 times.
Yeah.
He retired 3 times because he's mentally weak. Because he couldn't handle the pressure of the NBA. You can say
there's
whatever you
other-
want.
there's
You can
other
say whatever-
theories on
yeah,
that.
there's other theories too. That he was told that he has to retire because you're a gambling fool and you've gotten yourself in trouble.
Jordan had a lot of. I'll tell you this is what I'll say for LeBron and why I also had to concede at some point in time that Brady is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I didn't. But there comes a point when you just can't argue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you. LeBron's not only his longevity, but I mean, he doesn't miss a lot of games. He is an Iron Man. He has played. I mean, how many playoff games has he played?
It's the most, and I don't
Which
know,
means he's
but
probably got like what 2, 3
extra
seasons under his belt.
I mean,
and the way he takes care of himself. I mean, I know how hard it is for me to be disciplined. Yeah,
it's hard.
very hard. So I mean, the amount of discipline,
And you've
that
had
it
eyes on you
takes-
since you were a
Right.
fucking junior in
Right.
high school.
Right. That little commercial. Have you seen that commercial where he's talking to his
He's like,
younger
is the hype-
self?
is the hype too much? And he's like,
And he handled it.
He handled
He
it.
not only handled because I mean for years and years and years and years it was like this guy's the next Jordan. This guy's
Same
the
wife.
next Jordan. This guy's let's not talk about that.
Okay, he
Same wife,
he
but-
might have infidelities, but Jordan's divorced.
Right.
So if Jordan had
But-
infidelities, he wasn't able to figure out how to talk to this woman and say, "Listen, I'm sorry that I did what I did, but we can make this work."
Right, you're
Whatever
right. No, I'm not-
LeBron's doing, it's working.
Right.
Whatever he's doing is working at home. It seems, at least on for
least it
social
seems from the
media,
outside, yeah.
it seems like everything's good. Maybe one day it'll come out that it's not. There's so much that LeBron has done that just makes me go, God damn. We just don't. The dunk that he had the other night, where he caught the alley-oop at the end of the game, I would go as far to say there's maybe 5 or 6 guys in the current NBA, which I'm talking about 20-year-olds that can jump out the gym, that could complete that alley-oop that he caught at the end of the game. And it's just because he's a freak athlete. Yeah. He for sure is the greatest athlete we've seen of all time in the NBA. And I put that over Jordan. Jordan versus LeBron in their prime, one-on-one. If you truly understand basketball, you've got to understand that he's so much bigger than Jordan.
And
he just would back
LeBron
him
can
down.
play every position.
Yeah.
Honestly, Magic would probably
Magic's
be
a way better person to throw one-on-one against him.
Right. Magic, because Magic can match him in size and skill.
Yeah.
Magic could play every position.
I also thought I thought Magic, his career was cut short.
Right.
If Magic had got to play his
Right.
whole career, he
Yes.
would have won more than
Yes.
6, and we would have
I
considered
think
him the best.
that is the better comparison of player. Like
Yeah.
Magic and LeBron are much more.
I just think we get lost a little bit in the Jordan.
But
what
even
happened
Magic
is-
wasn't nearly as physically dominant as LeBron. I mean,
No.
I would imagine he doesn't have anywhere close to as many rebounds per game.
Well, and again, his career got short. And
Right.
and
I'm just talking about
and
if you look at per game.
Maybe he would have changed and
Maybe.
became a different player as he would have gotten older, and he would have had to turn into more of this kind of style that LeBron is.
But
where
again,
he's
those
just
guys
kinda,
didn't take care of themselves back then.
No, they didn't.
Not the way they do now.
and there's no way that you can convince me that anybody's going to play as long as he is.
Right. I mean, Jordan
Kevin
was
Durant-
smoking and gambling and fucking
Is
drinking
Kevin
and
Durant,
shit.
who can't keep a knee on him to save his life, is he playing till he's 37, 38, 39? No fucking way.
I don't think he doesn't strike me as someone that wants to.
No.
But I don't know. Kevin Durant seems to me like he gets hurt
A lot.
But yeah,
A
but
lot.
it seems like he just
Yeah.
doesn't want to play because
My pussy.
he comes out and like. I mean, honestly, they're going to be in a fucking play-in game, and they're going to probably.
Yeah.
They could if Kyrie plays, they could win the fucking East.
Yeah, well, they could. However, again, if they're all in there mentally,
This last 2 weeks, I mean, I have no idea who's going to win this shit.
yeah. I mean, I like Miami getting Oladipo back. I didn't know that they had Oladipo on the team, and then all of a sudden he's on that Miami
Yeah,
team.
I didn't know that either.
That's nasty. And I think Milwaukee's still a good team. Obviously, Joel Embiid is playing really well. But as we saw from that Nets,
I'm a little off on Philly now.
Yeah,
I don't
you know why?
They're just not.
You know why? And it's not Joel Embiid's fault.
Not Embiid.
It's not Embiid's fault. I told you what was going to happen. We watched it for so many years. This fucking guy can't play in big games. James Harden is a loser. I had to put him on this list. Just
I was looking.
I was forced. I'm forced. My hand is forced. Not in big games. He's not.
No, but James Harden is like a he is a basketball genius. He is very fucking smart, and he does make them better. It's just weird that he folds like that.
Pressure, and in the playoffs, the refs swallow the whistle,
yeah.
and that is a big part of his game.
True.
That's what he wants.
Yes.
He wants you to foul him because he is so money from the free throw line.
Right. Well, and he's a big dude. He's strong. He pushes through. It just.
Yeah,
I still want to see. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. And in the West,
Well,
I mean,
fucking knows,
Phoenix has
bro.
been killing it.
Well, if
and
they get Chris Paul back.
Golden State, yes, they get Chris Paul back, and Golden State has been kind of
But
sputtering
they got
lately. Now they got
Draymond
Draymond,
back.
and they killed it last night. So Memphis is still there, and you've got Denver's now playing a lot better, and they're going to get a bunch of like you said, Michael Porter's coming back. I don't know if Jamal Murray's coming back, but I didn't even realize they didn't have him all this time, and Jokic is playing awesome. So who knows? I have no idea either. It is truly up in the air. But here, I'll give you my top 25 that I have here. So I think that since he's won a championship and just the way he's playing this year, I think he's the best player in the world. I think Giannis has really changed his game. He's smarter about it.
Yeah, he's continuing to add elements. Like he's developing his 3-point. That's scary.
He also is a guy that, just like Bron, I respect the fact he's kind of an Iron Man. He doesn't miss a lot of games. He plays a lot of games.
How long's he been playing basketball?
Yeah,
because he didn't start.
No, not till he was late in life. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't one of these.
He was
kids
just a freak, and that's why they called him the Greek freak.
And, he was not thinking about basketball, but he got so tall, and it was like, okay, well, I think you need to do this. Also, the other guy that, like I said, I don't blame this guy, but he is absolutely balling out of his mind, and he is really, really good, is Joel Embiid. Yeah. Joel Embiid, I think you got to put both of them as guys that you can't deny it when you watch either one of them. You can't deny how good Joel Embiid is. However, the caveat to Joel Embiid, why I can't put him as a number one or best player in the world, is that he is a big man and he gets hurt. And his knees aren't going to last. I mean, his career, honestly, isn't going to be that long.
That first game he played, or second game with Harden, I thought he fucking blew out.
And he could go down at any moment.
Yeah.
Unlike Giannis and the rest of these guys, Joel Embiid could go down for the year at any moment. And same thing for Jokic, too. Any of the big guys could go down at any moment because they're just built that way. They always are going to be more susceptible to leg injuries. Number 3 to me, and I thought about this for a long time because I was like, is it worth it putting him up here? I know he's had a big rise this year, but he really is he's just so good.
It's fun.
And it's fun to watch. I guess I'm thinking of I'm starting a team right now.
Right.
Would you rather start with him or him or him or him? And that's what I was doing. I was saying, okay, if I'm starting a team and who's the best, then I have to put John Moran as number 3. Currently as we sit, he is on fire. I could
make an argument.
He's number 1.
That if you're starting a team,
you'd want to go with him.
He's so fucking young.
Yeah, he's young
and he's so exciting.
You could build
it's just
around
fun
him.
to watch, bro.
You look at the Grizzlies now, who are the number 2. They're the number 2 seed. They passed Golden State because Golden State lost so many games. So, I had to put John Moran here. And then here we are.
Him. I like that kid.
It was actually a very sad thing to put number 4 next to his name because in my heart you're number 1. But I honestly have to still put LeBron in this conversation. I went through saying, okay, is he better than him or is he better than Steph Curry? Well, I mean, I get your argument of saying why Steph Curry would be better than him, but if I had to choose one guy in a playoff game, I can either have Steph Curry or LeBron James. I'm picking LeBron James. If I can have Jokic or I can have LeBron James. And the other 3
LeBron
guys
is not the problem in LA.
No.
Except that he's not a very good GM.
He's
apparently.
a bad GM. So is Jordan. I mean, I guess if you're a great, that doesn't mean you're necessarily great at picking guys.
Right,
And maybe what it is like maybe LeBron sees things in Westbrook that he respects. You know, like he sees the motor in him, and he's like, man, I like that. I have that. I respect that in your game. And maybe Jordan has done that in the past too with some of his bad picks that he's made. He's like, I can see aspects of what makes you good, and I can bring it out.
Maybe he told him this. Maybe he came up with a story that he could see a situation where they did work.
But that's ridiculous.
I don't know how he got to
that's
that,
silly, yeah.
but,
That's silly. And then you see guys like Jerry West, who are masters of drafting people. And I think what they do is they probably take themselves out of it.
Jerry West is in Memphis now, isn't he?
Is he the one running Memphis?
I think so.
Oh, Lord.
I think that he went from the Lakers to Memphis.
Get ready,
like
Memphis.
A few years ago.
Get ready, Memphis.
I'll have to look it up.
I thought it was the Clippers.
Was it? I thought he went to Memphis. Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
John Morant put it number 3. LeBron James number 4. Number 5. I struggled with this of whether or not to put Steph Curry or Jokic at number 5, but I put Jokic just because Jokic, man, he does things that are really weird for a big man. He's got that Larry Bird. He doesn't seem athletic at all, but like he'll make passes and shots where you're like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from your hip? Like, where did you throw that from? Like, how did you even know that you could do that? So, yeah, I went with Jokic over Steph Curry just ever so slightly. I put Steph at 6. I'm always going to forevermore be humbled by who Steph Curry is. None of us will ever see it again. His three-point shooting is the best. He is the best shooter in the history of the NBA. So, yeah, had to put him as number 6. Now,
you're right. Jerry West works for the Clippers.
Clippers? Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, they were building, you know, Kawhi and Paul George. That's a good team. He just didn't know both of them had fragile pussies. You know, and the reason that Kevin Durant is not next on my list, and I am putting Jason Tatum ahead of him because I'm thinking am playing. It's a multi-leveled list. If I'm starting a team, if I have a playoff, whatever, I just think Jason Tatum has been ever since they got this Derek White. And so now they have
Boston looks good.
Boston looks really good. And Jason Tatum is really good. He's very, very good. And if I had to start a team, Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant right now, just because of age and injuries, I'm going to go Jason Tatum. And I think that's what made me push. Obviously, I'm splitting hairs here because
well, I mean, we're talking about the best players in the league.
Everything in this top 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I could make an argument for Doncic to go.
You could tell me how Luka is number 1. You could. You really could. Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Devin Booker is a top tier. Devin Booker could be right there with John Morant in that top tier category. So I'm splitting hairs. I'm splitting hairs. And Jason Tatum, I have a slightly ahead of Kevin Durant because of the injury side of things. And I get what Kevin Durant is. That's why he's number 8 on my list. But I like Jason Tatum, and I think Jason Tatum's playing really well. I think if they continue, it's weird that they're not. It's weird that Jaylen Brown and some of Al Horford and some of the other pieces that they had weren't enough to push them over the edge. Maybe Derek White is a nice piece and they can win. I don't think they're going to win a championship this year. I still am big and high on Jason Tatum. Kevin Durant, number 8. Number 9, Devin Booker. Number 10, Luka Doncic. I mean, again, you can make an argument for Luka Doncic being way higher than that. And I totally respect it. But I have as number 10. Number 11 is interesting. I would say Donovan Mitchell maybe slightly ahead of Jamal Murray if I had to do it. But I think they're on the same level of how good they are. And obviously, when they had that battle in that playoff game where it was Denver versus Utah and they were going back and forth. But Jamal Murray's not playing right now, so it was hard for me to even put him in this list. I do think that he deserves to be in this list. He'd probably go to number 12 for me if I had to actually do it. But I just put them both as number 11, Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray. Both superstars, both kind of. Donovan Mitchell reminds me of Dwayne Wade. I like Donovan Mitchell a lot. They need a better team around him, though, in Utah. I don't think Utah has what it takes to win this year, but they'll be a good playoff team. And then a guy that I did not think I would be putting on this list, but if you watch him play this year, it's undeniable. Yeah. I mean, he's LeBron, I think, is leading in points, but he's got to be 2 or 3 because DeMar DeRozan – he went on a trip with Sean Connery and Harrison Ford, and they crawled across a bridge, and they passed all the tests, and they got to the final room, and he drank from the fountain of youth. And that's the only thing that I can explain of what has caused this. Because I mean, was he like this last year and I just didn't remember?
He didn't. He was good in Toronto. He
was
and then
good.
we went to fucking San Antonio.
He was all right.
I don't know. San Antonio just
But
kind of
he's
fell
like-
apart.
he's like superstar in Chicago.
Well, he's like in the MVP
He's
conversations.
like hitting game winners. I just don't understand where this came from, but that's the only explanation is when he went on a trip with Sean Connery and Indiana Jones, and they figured this out. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan, I got at number 12.
DeMar. Have you ever seen that skit with Will Ferrell and Drake where they're doing they're teaching the basketball?
DeMar, and they're like,
DeMar.
DeMar, I hear it, the less I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I have
DeMar.
like it. Carl Anthony Towns, who put up
really good.
60
Yeah,
last night.
he's really good.
Hard to deny that guy. He plays in the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is unfortunate, but they're actually doing better. They're
they're
the
going to
seven-
make the playoffs,
Oh
right?
yeah, well they're going to make the play-in.
play-in,
They're going to make the play-in, and they'll probably win because they'll end up playing somebody like the Lakers, and they're going to beat them. So yeah, Carl Anthony Towns, obviously very good. Number 13, number 14, I put Trae Young. He might be a little high now that I'm looking at it. That might be a little much.
He's good though. I mean,
I know, but my next one is Jimmy Butler, and now I'm arguing in my head that
Right.
I kind of think Jimmy Butler. I definitely think if I had to start a team, I'd go Jimmy Butler over Trae Young. But Trae Young is good.
he is very good.
Splitting hairs. Damian Lillard deserves to be much higher on this list. However, right now,
Plays in
with
Portland.
the situation that we're in, the fact that he's been hurt all year and he hasn't played, and yeah, he's on a bad team.
He's a baller.
I couldn't put him up there
Right.
realistically, but in my mind, I know that he's top 5 when he's playing. He's so good when
He's
he's
very
on.
good, yes.
So Damian Lillard deserves to be high on this list, and I had to put him over some of these other guys that maybe it wouldn't seem that way, but he is. Zach LaVine. I smoke a lot of weed, so I don't know. But no, Zach LaVine is good, and he definitely got a lot better. I don't know if he deserves to be where he's at on this list, though. That might have been a mistake. But I have Zach LaVine next. Darius Garland on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's the reason that because Colin Sexton went out, and he's been out the whole year. But Darius Garland has kept Cleveland
And
right.
Allen got hurt too, right?
Yeah. But Garland has been really good and impressive to me. I did not know that Darius Garland was this nice, and he is a really good young player. And I would take him over some of these guys like bitch ass James Harden. Bitch ass James Harden is number 19. I put him on there because everyone's gonna say, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't put him on the list." But he is a loser, and his butthole puckers so hard. He's got butthole puckers tattooed on his tramp stamp just so that no one tries to fuck him. But it's. He's not it. He's never going to win a championship. He's never going to be that guy. He's going to eventually whine his way out of Philadelphia. And I love how people are like, "Oh no, he's with Daryl Morey now." Like, so? Daryl Morey never won a fucking championship. What did Daryl Morey do that worked? He put together a couple of flashy
We had some
Rocket
good teams.
Okay,
though.
great.
We should
They
have won
lost.
that one year.
Daryl Morey's not a champion. Never been a champion.
He
GM.
puts together some good. He's a good GM.
Whatever. I think what he gave away for James Harden was not worth it. I think what he gave away made Philly worse. I think the fact that now they don't have Seth Curry and now they don't have some of these pieces like Andre Drummond that is playing pretty good defense for the Nets right now. I don't know. I don't think it was worth
Typically,
it.
if you get the best player in the deal, you win.
But James Harden's not the best player in any
the
world.
league.
In no world.
But he's better than Ben Simmons.
And this next person definitely deserves to be above a lot of these people. This next person has the talent to be the number 1 player on this list.
Yeah.
This next person is so good, but mentally has fucking flat earth disease or something. And the fact that Kyrie Irving... Now, I will say, I respect what he's doing.
Yeah.
I respect what he's doing. I am not...
I think that I would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Because I did say that if it comes down to I have to get this thing or not work,
I just get a good fake. I just get a good fake vaccine card and not tell anybody the way the fucking Antonio
didn't
Brown
he try
did.
to do that? Oh, Antonio Brown
Yeah,
did that.
Antonio Brown just fucked it up. Antonio Brown is a dumbass and just told too many people. You gotta have a fall guy.
You got to
go get
have
your
a
fall
fall
guy to go
guy.
get you a fake vaccine card and don't only tell that fall guy that you pay well. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I guess it doesn't really. But with these guys,
Yeah.
they have enough money that they don't have
But
to work.
But Kyrie feels like he's standing on the hill for it, and I respect it. I like it.
Did you see? Wait, this is the weird thing.
They fined him for being in the locker room.
Yeah, but he was at the fucking game.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay.
Without a mask on.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
What the fuck?
That's okay.
What are you doing in New York?
He was having a drink.
But I'm just saying, everybody's at Madison Square Garden without masks on, but he can't play.
Listen, we live in Texas where COVID is over. It's been over for a long time.
I just don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of people's trying to stay woke, and it's just ridiculous. So, COVID's over. Let it go. Take your mask off. Put your pussy away. No one wants to see that. Yeah, but
it's just weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's
and
weird.
Kyrie is definitely a top tier player, but I just can't. I couldn't do it because I couldn't put him over some of these guys.
One of the reasons why Brooklyn can come out of the East if he gets to play the whole time. Like if he can play every game,
which he should be allowed to.
I just think in a month. I mean, come on.
The interesting thing is they will be a low seed, so he will play on the road 4 times in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
So actually, by him hurting his team and making them kind of lower in the seeding, but he can't play in his home stadium. It's like, well, if I can get him for 4 instead of 3, I kind of don't mind that we're in the 8th seed. If that means that
if
I don't know
if Brooklyn played the Knicks, could he play? Like if they went to Madison Square Garden?
So. Which in distance is like literally like 5 miles.
Right.
Like it's not far at all.
It's
like,
the same city. He's just
they're
a visiting
so close
player.
to each other. Yeah.
I don't know.
It makes no sense. It makes literally no sense. And I like I said, I respect that he's standing up for it and I like it, but mentally he's very weak. And it's not just about this. It's that he needs breaks away from the game and he's not in his mind and he can't do this. And I don't like it. I don't like his mindset. I don't like who he is as a person. So that's why I put him lower on the list. Obviously, because he can't play every game, I had to put him lower on the list. But realistically, Kyrie deserves to be way, way, way up there. I'd even say if I'm starting a team over Kyrie or Kevin Durant, I'm picking Kyrie. I mean, just on skills and their body, because Kevin Durant has just been hurt so many times. I don't want to start a team with Kevin Durant.
I mean, yeah, I can.
And then
see
21 through the rest here is kind of whatever. But De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram, LaMelo Ball, that is LaMelo Ball, and then Chris Middleton and Julius Randle. All those are good young players, but they obviously don't deserve to be up near the top. But I think all those guys have proven themselves. And LeBron could be playing with Brandon Ingram right now. And I feel like he just fucked out. He fucked up.
Who's the other one that wanted to go to L.A., but they got
DeMar DeRozan.
Westbrook? Okay, that was it. DeMar
DeRozan.
So, yeah, god damn.
You could have DeMar DeRozan on this fucking team scoring all the points for you, and you don't have to do shit. You could have had Buddy Hield. I mean, Buddy Hield's not amazing, but he's better
good.
than fucking Russell
And
Westbrook.
The other kid that Indiana got, Halliburton.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, like everybody was shocked that even Sacramento. No one even thought he was available for trade.
Yeah. Well, Sacramento doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They never have. So it makes sense that they're just...
They did for a brief period when they had fucking white chocolate and fucking...
Chris Webber.
Yeah. Oh, they were some good teams.
Peja Stojakovic. Yeah, they did. They had some okay teams.
But I think those guys sold it, though.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
Well, that's the problem. And now Vlade Divac owns them or something. No, that's not true. But Vlade Divac was like in charge of things at one point. And I was like, well, that's not a good sign. You shouldn't put Vlade in charge of anything, I don't think, other than like eating stuff. What do you eat, Vlade? That's what you get to be in charge of today. But yeah.
Maybe that I could see no Anthony Davis just gets hurt too much. What?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I mean,
I couldn't even argue with my. I brought him up in my mind, but I was like, okay, if I'm starting a team right now, and I even have the choice of Julius Randle or Anthony Davis, I might go Julius Randle. Chris Middleton or
wasn't Julius Randle a Laker too?
Yeah, long ago before before LeBron. Yeah. I think he came to the Rockets too. It's at one point in his little. He's moved around before he became really, really good on the Knicks. But I mean, LaMelo Ball or Anthony Davis. I'm starting a team with LaMelo.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram or Anthony Davis. I'm probably gonna at this point have to say Brandon Ingram. This motherfucking Anthony. Listen, I'm not just
literally can't stay healthy.
I'm not using just the Lakers side of his career either.
Oh, yeah.
New Orleans, he couldn't stay healthy either.
Yeah.
This is his entire. And again, these big guys. I don't have a lot of big guys on here. I've got
3.
I've only got Joel Embiid.
The top 2. I mean,
Jokic
Antetokounmpo is a big dude.
No, but when I say big, I mean like he plays center. He plays center, and that's what Anthony Davis should play. But
Yeah, there's only
he gets his
3. There's only 3 true centers on there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the rest of
Embiid,
them,
Jokic, and Towns.
you're making arguments of, yes, Giannis and LeBron and Jason Tatum and Kevin Durant. They're big guys,
yeah.
but I don't think of them as the same
They're
way
not
as I do
centers,
these
yeah.
other. And all 3 of those big guys that are on this list, Joel Embiid, Jokic, and Karl Anthony Towns, if it comes out tomorrow that they tore their ACL, I'm not going to be like, what? Oh my God, what? What happened? They're too big. When you see them in person, you're like, oh, well, you're too big. This is too big. This is too big
It's
to
like
be.
Yao is so good.
Oh, well, this
but
isn't realistic.
Couldn't
Yeah.
fucking stay healthy.
Yeah, you've got giant syndrome. You'll die early. Anyways, hope y'all doesn't watch this. That's sad. But but yeah, so we hit some big sports here.
Man,
We've
that was a
talked
long
for an
one.
hour and a half.
Oh, shit.
We haven't done a show in a couple of weeks, so we had a lot to get out. But yeah, thank you so much to me and Dannon who are watching this, and to DraftKings. We'll be back soon with some more news.
More antics.